not casted on Cash. But we are about to go live here for the second map. Team Liquid on the CT side to start things off. It is Pimp, JDM, Hiko, Nitro, and Elige. While we have here for G2, Shocks, Body, RPK, Smiths, and Scream boosting for a mid control with Pimp going for the shoulder peak.
Yep, and you see all these terrorists coming out through mid like spider monkeys, running up highway, and right into the smoke and crosshair of Nitro with his last bullet is able to get that kill, and now it's a 3-on-3. Smith has gotten a couple of frags for himself, and therefore retained the man advantage for G2. The retake, however, is still a potential possibility. Hiko has a kit, JDM's got armor, and they've both got loads of HP. He's also got a smoke, actually, perfect for the retake. They would have ideally not liked to have lost so many people up until this point, but down but not out.
One at A main, and that is going to be Shocks. One at Quant, and that is going to be Smith. The third one unknown in the eyes of Liquid, as he's actually hiding inside the side. Hiko actually moving forward. GDM's already down to 3 HP, already canceled out, and that smoke tried to throw it a little bit too early, gets caught with the nade in his hands, and they peek out to get the kill. And the pistol round comes in favor here of G2. It started so well, though. I mean, Nitro, what he invested in was 2 flashes and a smoke. He utilized the flash into a good position, actually, for mid. Fully blinded a few guys from G2, where Pimp really couldn't come out, though, to try to help up to get the trades.
Yeah.
But that would have been crucial there, should the timing would have been slightly earlier to blind really all of them on G2.
So the value of boost on pistol is that for a Z player to spot them running up the left side from his perspective of mid, he has to peek out and expose himself to Z. So if someone's in Z, they get a free frag, and so it's always very dangerous to try to do this. And look at this, all of Checker has been mollied out. That means they don't have to clear it now. This is a lot of peace of mind. Great flash into the site. JDM try to post up, and he's just got a USP, but he won't even be able to make that useful at all.
They expected a B stack here, flushing it through towards the Checkers. The rest of them, actually, for Liquid, actually stacked towards the A bomb site. Now that they smoke towards the CT spawn, it's going to be harder for them to go for the retake, so you're just setting up for exits right now. At this point, 4 of them stacked up towards the CT spawn. Scream at the default bomb box. Or should I say that was Body. And the trades are coming through. Things are actually looking not so bad for Liquid as Hiko gets the headshot through the smoke. You know what? They lost the round, but they got 3 kills. That's still pretty decent here for the counter-terrorist team.
Yeah, hella good for how much money they had spent, for sure. G2, or let's see what they're going to buy up following this round. I think they're just going to go for a couple more SMGs. It wouldn't be unwarranted. They know that they've gotten past the round where you would anticipate a CT to buy, and it really isn't a matter of getting the bomb down for them, right? So it's more predictable buying patterns. And yes, they've got, I mean, I think Shocks just literally has a USP here, so just not spending any money. And through the smoke, catches a leash pushing up middle, just off of pre-fire and spam. And you know, a lot of us, and just on that note, a lot of us, I think, don't believe that we know those angles that well. But you know, if you've played Cash thousands, we've all played Cash thousands of times. You know, you know this angle like the back of your hand. And, oh, whoa, I'm not sure exactly what just unfolded there, but it's still the CTs at a disadvantage right now.
That's right. That's going to end it there. I mean, the ooh that came out from my voice is because of the nice nades that came through from Liquid at the entrance of the A site. That landed right on the edge of the entrance, and that damaged 2 of them down to sub 200, and that was Body and RPK respectively. Unfortunately, though, coming out of that one, they tried to peek out and bring the fight, but it's pistols against AKs. There's nothing more you could really do there unless you get really lucky on the first pre-fired shot. It wasn't the case here for Liquid. So that means G2 takes 3 rounds in a row and take the lead by 3 rounds.
Yeah, by far my favorite round of the half. The first rifle, buy up, and JDM has already, as you just pointed out, taken a ton of damage.
Yeah.
A little more than 50 with that op.
That's what we mentioned earlier on. JDM really taking advantage of pushing towards Checkers or pushing out towards B main to try to get a pick. He pays the prices down to 38. At least he's still alive, and he has the op here.
So now RBK has Checker control, and he also knows no one's vents and actually gets caught maybe overextending JDM from the checker box. I mean, he could have been a real thorn in their sides from that position. Now Pimp is hurt. He's also in a really tough spot. I mean, he's got to fight. The Molly's going to force him out into taking this duel, and because they've got that high-low advantage, there's no opportunity for him to find that frag.
The advantage, though, is that he came out with a lot of damage being instilled onto Scream, who's down to 25 HP. So that could give a chance right now for this hold towards the A bomb site. And look how aggressive Elige is playing this again. You've seen him play this spot before, and also Nitro is quite fond of playing that spot. Again, this is G2's map, but Team Liquid have been looking quite strong coming into Northern Arena, presented by Bell here for Cash.
No, it's still a man outside B, and because once you lose checker control and you have no mid player to go to vent, I mean G2 have tons of advantages right now. 4v3 as Shox finds what seems like a clean headshot, and JDM having his impact over at B, but they're still turtled up on the site, about as far away from the other side as you can get, and so therefore are in kind of a tough position. Body can kind of time his peaks right now, play this truck. I'm sure they're going to be fully aware of the potential for him to be close, and there it is. As he's switching, shoots his head right off. Knows there's a second man here who wants to and has to aggress if they want to perform this retake. He does end up winning the duel. That's Hiko, and now he's going to move up in this 1v2.
8 bullets left in his chamber right now as he's fully flashed. Great teamwork there. Easy kill coming through.
Yeah, I love that. The thing is that another thing I love about G2, and I think Shox, every team that Shox plays on, is sometimes they play the 2v1s aggressively, but in a safe way. So they will either double peek or like have a flash. If they know that somebody has no other option but to move on to the site, a certain amount of time remaining, it's obviously circumstantial, and they can guarantee the trade frag or a blind kill, then they'll go for the peek. And sometimes there is value in that. Like in that situation, maybe Hiko gets 1 kill and then loses, but because they played it aggressively, he gets none.
And it was also unfortunate on Alicia's part there, where he pushed towards the locker room, he pushed out towards A main, tried to go for a big flank, and then somehow nobody went through towards A main, and nobody went through really. I think they went towards Blue Door and Highway to pinch inside the A bomb side, so that was a bit unfortunate where he couldn't get a kill and get a flank going through, and made it a little bit harder for Team Liquid to go for the retake. Now, for this round, because of that, they have to be on a save round with only pistols, upgraded pistols across the board. And the other thing is that's positive to note so far for Liquid is that JDM is actually connecting a lot of his shots with the EWP. So maybe as this continues on and they finally get this economy built up, you might maybe be able to see JDM play a little bit more of a solo towards B, and you could really focus on this 2 mid 2A side that seems to be quite heavy for G2 at this point.
Scream sectioning off the map by smoking out Z and retaining mid control, knowing that no one can flank. Ooh, knowing that, well, no one up until that point could flank through vent, but now there's potential for it. I mean, he might just want to hang on to that gun, that AK, and fall off. I think I would use some of these pistols to make sure and negate any players from pushing if the T's decide to get aggressive. Because they have the man advantage, they kind of have the opportunity to just do whatever they want. And here we have the CTs running in a train, just congregating towards the T spawn.
Yeah, this is what I like a lot about this type of move as a group for exit kills. You're not really setting out for tight angles where it's obvious where people might be stacking. This is really looking back at the 1.6 days where you're getting the best spots as possible and just stacking as a team to set up for trades to salvage as many guns as you can. Now at this point, they're crossfired all across the T spawn. Unfortunately, though, they get one. Will they pick it up?
Oh, no. Yep, Pimp finds another one as well, and they've got tons of money for this buy. It's still going to be of value to them to have this bank left over, and also I think has encouraged them to just pick up a second op in the round. So this will be a good way to stop the bleeding potentially if G2 decide to move slow in a default, and maybe RPK does or another player makes a play like RPK did where he peeked checker or he peeked sightbox from checker. And I'm not entirely sure. This is a map that encourages defaults. There's just strong ways for strong individual players to open up the round, and not a lot of ways to smoke, to throw full smoke executes. Well, to justify them at least. And this is another Molotov. This is a complete call out to an offer that wants to try to peek this, and it's not actually that deep. So yep. JDM and Pimp both find kills, the third one as well, and we see these offers ring off and have the impact that they invested in, that they wanted to with this big investment.
I think they've been doing some homework though for G2's side at this point, throwing 2 mollies one after the other towards the checker side. They know that JDM really likes to play towards that angle right under that vent. But like you mentioned here, Lander, it wasn't deep enough, so it basically gave an advantage for JDM as he could hide under or behind the smoke of the flames. That being said, and on top of that, they get a flawless victory to get the first round on the board.
Yeah, very solid. I mean, it's just perfect for them. They know that the strategy they decided to employ, just picking up that second up, worked really well. It didn't come close, and they got all the opening kills with them as well. JDM was really good about finding a way around that incendiary or Molotov to get a good angle where he's not actually being engulfed in flames. So didn't take any damage for that peak as well. Very safe option. And now they retain the 2 ops, have a lot of money left over, and it's actually G2 who have to be very sparse and careful about how they use their grenades. don't have the opportunity to be liberal in the situation, and Shox is asked to make this kind of tactical, aggressive play out of A main, and they're still technically in the default. I mean, players are none the wiser except for Nitro, who seems to catch the shoulder of Shox.
Yeah, they went for a boost and a high-low. Play deep inside the site to look towards A main and also towards the blue door. This also forces now Pimp to rotate across and support towards the A site and move Elige out to support towards mid. And on the other end for the terrorist team, you have two guys set up towards the mid side. Bomb is making his way towards A main.
Oh no, they heard that dink. JDM looks for the trade and actually gets it.
Like I said, has been on fire, at least in this round. Nitro's holding towards the fence area of the A side and gets a second kill, and that's, what, 3 to capitalize on that round. Beautiful. Great job on their hold at A.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Everything went really well. The last 2 rounds have been quite fruitful for them. Again, they retained those ops, and just that huge investment. It really does need to go the distance when you buy those things. Like, you don't just do it to get 1 round. If you do, that's a failure, right? And it ends up costing you a lot more in the long run. So the two in the row is successful. They've just got tons of money already. Elige is above 8K, which is something you don't see very often. And now G2 are on a save. So.
This is where it gets dangerous. I was going to say it gets dangerous because with Tech 9s for G2, I'm always scared for the counter-terrorist team or whoever they oppose. But it's been looking good as JDM is still not missing. And a touchdown nade from Pimp.
Yeah, great round from both. That was a nice shot from Pimp on when he had to pick a player. Jumping out of Z through that smoke, are the both of them. And now Liquid are off to the 3-0. G2 want to, at this point, stop this comeback, which obviously is as soon as possible, and we're going to see how they're going to try to do it. We saw Shox try to make an aggressive individual play that ended up not paying off. I wonder if Team Liquid are going to be wise to the fact that he might try this again, or whether it's even the case. Now, they seem to be grouped up, and I think there is a lot to say about strength in numbers when you don't have the weaponry to back up something like a default.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could see from this overhead view now that they focus a lot at the beginning of the round for Liquid to look at the mid side, control and control B, play solo A. Once it stays calm, look at how aggressively they pushed out here for the counter-terrorist team. Immediately rotated out Pimp from Z with the op to move towards A, and then Elige from A onto the mid just to spot it out first. They want to wait for this big flank coming through towards the mid side, and that smoke actually gives a chance for Shox.
Oh, this is a big deal. I mean, he just hurt 2 people. I don't know if anyone's going to be sitting watching the flank. I think that man has died, and Elige. No, it's actually JDM so aware, and somehow Scream's left on a 1v2, which is now a 1v1. I think he just got the comms that man was behind him. Clearly called. JDM has gotten the frag on the flank, and here it is. Scream fully aware of where his first potential threat will be. JDM has already made a rotate to mid, however, and Scream seems maybe now unaware of the option that he could have taken another route.
There's 35 seconds left on the clock here.
Yeah.
So JDM's still going to walk it across. He's going to hear his opponent right now.
I don't think he'll be able to catch him if he's just going to walk like this, but at the same time, Scream might think he has the opportunity for a much riskier plan, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's going to go back into the site, and JDM's going to walk up. This should be a free round.
There you go, quite easy. JDM gets the kill, and because of that, I mean, you knew where their opponent was coming across. You don't have to try to throw some nades or anything while he's going for a plant, because in his mind, you're still thinking that he's going to be planning towards the A bomb site. That being said, it started off so well for Liquid when they had such a big flank. They had the great read. They stacked up towards that A-bomb site. A bloodbath happened where Scream almost won a 3 versus 1.
Yeah, it was just the double mind games, right? We had Scream on the site. It's called that JDM killed me on the flank, so watch your back. And then he stares at A main, but JDM's like, okay, they know I'm here. I'm going to go another way. Ends up going out mid, getting that info.
And catches the Thunder Footer across.
Exactly. Beautiful stuff. Now they're within 1 of evening it up, obviously. Pistol rounds have been a big problem for them, and making up ground hasn't. The issue is that in the long run, that sometimes costs you versus top teams. I mean, ultimately, JDM finding an angle, but slightly getting burned. I don't think he can actually regress off this molly. It's a little bit different than the last one.
Ooh. Thankfully, that Hiko's playing inside the site. He picks up the AK, fully blinded. Scream comes out and gets the kill with the AK-47. Hiko's still inside the site. That's 3 kills. That's 4 kills. He's looking for the ace. It's going to get stopped by Scream. Now on a 3 versus 1 situation. Scream needs an ace of his own to try to clutch this one here. He's at the headshot box. He's spotted by Elige, who rotated from the vent side. We also have Pimp moving up towards the heaven side, and he's just going to wait it out. He does have the bomb on his back. He does have nades as well, and they're trying to flush him out. Incinerator Grenade's being thrown at first, and then a second one here. Flash is coming through, and really you're not peeking out for Liquid. You give so much respect, but finally Pimp comes through for the fight.
Wow, going super wide there and actually getting the headshot off of a big flick, I want to say, and Scream infamously good from that spot on the site, but no one would give him a fight when he wanted it. So that was an insane round from Hiko, right? Obviously,
oh yeah.
The fact that there was 3 alive was all because of Scream, but the fact that B was held in the first place was because Hiko had that insane 4K. I mean, that is vintage Hiko if I've ever seen it. Allows him to even up in terms of score. It's pushing just over 70 ADR. And G2 maybe at a little bit of a loss for words. I think they've blown a few rounds in a row. I think a lot there's to be said about how well Liquid have played it, however, and have actually forced out a pause, which had worked them wonders on Train. So we'll see if they can pull the power of the pause once again. And Scream having a stellar game, 14-7.
Yeah, 103 ADR in the amount of rounds that we had so far, where it's been fairly dominant to start the first 5 rounds of the half for G2. But a very good comeback coming in from Liquid in the end to tie things up on the flat 5 scoreline. That being said, though, again, a stellar performance from Hiko on that previous round where, you know, it seems to be very, very difficult for Hiko to actually start strong on any of the maps. You see him often now at the bottom of the scoreboard, 0-7, 0-8 in the past matches, at least that we've cast now here at Northern Arena. But now that he's finding his footing here on the way that he's playing towards the CT side, but we need him a little bit more here towards the entrance, towards the entries or the support, and even the lurk of T side.
The man who does it all, and now it's it's actually a 3-2. Squeaky, and I think, you know, whenever you think of an eco strat, you want to try to put the bomb next to the closest choke point to the plant zone, right? This is the best way to, if you're going to YOLO out, for him to just get the plant, even if you plan on losing the round. And Ali's doing a ton of damage with that third spade through the smoke. And Pimp would probably be the reason they'd be able to stop this plant. And actually, the bomb's gotten quite aggressive here because they have decided they need to push. Ends up maybe not being the best idea. I think they would have had an opportunity to just get it down. Maybe anticipating a molly, who knows? But either way, the cleanup occurs, and G2 are unable to make waves.
And also, denying the bomb plan actually helps a lot for Liquid side, because at this point, they've won 6 rounds in a row. That means the max bonus rounds comes through for G2. That's $3,400. Adding the bomb plan would have definitely given them a lot more. Yes, they've built up the economy to get whatever they want here, but adding another 800 carries on to the remaining rounds of the first half, where Liquid are just doing a great job just to not... They stopped the bleeding to start. Now they finally bandaged it. Everything's healed. And they could continue on with their bike ride.
What an analogy. And you just topped it off perfectly.
Well, that being said, though, JDM is the first to fall, unfortunately, as we said that. And it looks like he lost a fight from... Looking from the point of view of RPK, he pushed out aggressively, so... It's not at his usual spot on the bottom of the vent where he actually gets the kills. He actually tried to walk out. Pimp is actually going to come back for the refrag and actually manages to get the trade.
There's a situation where crouch peek is extremely effective, and Nitro up on this boost. You know, sometimes this position works, but at the same time, it's still a long-range battle, and Body seems to be fully aware. Great instant trade from Scream. Could have been a difficult situation, and the double from Pimp as hear the crowd get very excited. I mean, that was a big deal. That instantly brings it to a 2v1 from what would have been a 3v2. Bomb still in the hands of Shox. I mean, if there's anybody that I trust in the clutch personally on G2, it'd be Shox #1. But by that same token, we've got Hiko, who was a man of the hour alone on the B site.
That's right. It's not over yet, but because of that, Shox had to peek back out earlier on. I wonder if it was to pick up the bomb. I missed that detail, but that giveaway his position, because Pimp missed the op shot, but at least they know exactly where Shox is at. He can't lean back out. He can't go anywhere. He's trying to bring that fight 1 versus 1. But as he peeks out, Pimp is better with the AWP. Gets a 4K on that round to help Liquid move forward with 7 rounds in a row.
You know, Hiko and Pimp have been really good in the retakes. They just have been working in tandem. And obviously, a beautiful round from Pimp. You got the collateral, you've got the kill versus the clutching player. But you just see the patience, right? And there was that situation on Train where they had they had Hiko at Ivy, and then Pimp flashing for Hiko to kill the guy in Hell, right? They just are working really well together. And they were just gonna, it seemed like just had everything down to a science. They were just gonna flow chart that retake, not rush it, not go do your own thing, but here, hold this angle, I hold this angle, wait and see if he gets aggressive, and if not, then we move on.
Wow, speaking about aggressive, look at G2 jumping over the Incinerator Grenade, lobbing a smoke on top of it so they could just run towards that mid side, but as they do, they're getting dropped like flies. That's an op shot from Pimp. That is the third one falling down from Elige. Pimp with another one. towards the A-bomb site. And the last one to go is going to be Scream. 5 versus 1, 5 versus 0. Pimp with a triple kill on that round.
Yeah, excellent. Wow, 5 players alive. And this is 7 rounds in a row to answer back to the 5 of G2. So what can you say? This is just a brand new reformed Team Liquid. And you got to hope that this isn't, that the fact that they lost the pistol and just got off to a bad start isn't going to haunt them later on, especially considering they have the option to bring this to a 3rd map. I mean, it is really G2's series to lose at this point, but Liquid are really making a case for themselves here. And now, again, off to another default. And I want to say, I think in terms of what G2 could maybe do differently is what they tried on Train, for example, where they did slow down the pace and then really relied on their default, but then also not dying. And I think that whenever G2 have defaulted in the last few rounds, they've lost that opening kill a little bit too early, and that has forced them to make fall into and execute that maybe what wouldn't be that effective. So instead, maybe if they stay alive a little bit longer, I think Liquid do get a little bit worried, and like when G2 pick it up.
Yeah, and that switch of a pace from that previous round did not pay off, so they're listening to your sage advice here. Launders is playing it very passively and patiently towards the T side mid. Went for an early boost, not really peeking out yet as they try to take mid control. They try to go for a peekaboo on the top of the boost boxes, but it's going to be Scream falling down first. Body moving forward, finally stops the killing spree of Pimp.
Yep. 1 for 1, but they're taking down an op, so that's, a bishop for a pawn basically, and that's a trade they'll take all day, especially to make it 4v4 in any regard. However, they have a Tech 9 in the hands of Smiths, so that might be one of the disadvantages that they're going to have to work against. And with 4 players grouped up, we've got a classic A split going on. Highway control, Molly's going out onto the site, pushing our quad player out to an awkward position. Body also joining in and pushing up at a perfect opportunity.
That's perfect teamwork right there, right?
Yep.
2 mollies towards quad, leveraging shocks to creep out towards the blue door to get the kill. Not really forcing on the molly throwers to try to engage on that fight. And just like that, they have a 4-man take against an uncontested site. Now it's a 4 versus 2 for JDM to try to come back to win this round with Hiko for Liquid. And at this point, if they don't get a kill in the first 2 seconds here, there you go, on to Forklift, they wouldn't go for it.
Exactly, just 2. And there is still a mana quad. A couple of players look like, this is kind of weird. He's got nades out. Shocks kills them both. Both headshots from quad. And you got to wonder what JDM was trying to do with that grenade. I mean, he's got an op, so it's kind of an awkward spot, but it seemed like he was being a little bit indecisive and got swiftly punished for it.
I thought Freeze's eyes were beautiful when it's actually being lit up from the monitor, but JDM's eyes are like...
He looks like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Why Buzz Lightyear?
The Earl Buzz Lightyear. He actually brought it. He's like, people are calling me Buzz Lightyear. I don't look like Buzz Lightyear. And he was like saying that to me. I was like, you do kind of look like Buzz Lightyear. That's true.
He's dreamy. Last round of the first half now, though, as it was a great job for G2 to actually nullify any type of retake attempt from Liquid. But
that
Pimp,
was quick.
He's the one that gets the spawn. He's the one that gets the pick.
Yeah, very, very nice. And he has consistently, the ops have been getting these opening kills. That is a huge part of the narrative right now for Liquid to make that potential a reality, and they're consistently doing it versus a team who's actually slowed it down and played it a lot more slowly and try to have all these safe options. Like, this is a round just like the previous. And mind you, G2 did come back from this and close it out, and they've got what seems like another A split on their mind right now. We just have an escort out mid to make sure that if there's a terrorist, a battle to be won, that it is traded. But Pimp, again, finding another op frag. This has to be seriously frustrating for G2 who have been taking all the necessary precautions. And will they push through this molly? It looks like Nitro will be throwing it, but it might be a little late. Good. Wow, what an amazing flash to help his teammates, but it does not matter. Scream is too nuts.
3-on-3 now. JDM fully blinded. Gets the shot at least. It's traded out by Smith. 2 versus 2. Pimp with the hat trick. Last one to go. It's going to be Scream. 7 HP remaining. 24 seconds left on the clock to try to clutch this 2 versus 1 to make it 8-7. Pop flash coming through. He knows that one is towards that mid side. Second one, where are you? He has no idea. So he's going to go back, pick up the bomb, and at least get the bomb plant for the team here.
Yep, and they're really giving it a hard time here, not allowing him to find anybody. They also delayed the plan. I mean, they just are in his head right now, and he doesn't have a lot of HP, so he's got to look for this opening duel. Anything could kill him right now. You could literally blow on his toenail, and he'd fall over. And oh, there he is, spotting an enemy, hearing one, but not two, so he doesn't actually know whether or not he has to be aware of another angle. Liquid just pushing in, and hopefully two will do it together. Will he actually push around the box? I wonder.
Such a tight angle for him to try to get these kills. That clock is ticking down. They're moving inside the side. Here's one towards the top, gets the first shot. And now there is actually still Hiko with the kit. Clock is dwindling down. He's going to have to go on a hunt. And Scream, so smart, is running around the boxes. Hiko's trying to hunt him down. Misses the quick scope. And that's it. Scream clutches a 2 versus 1.
Oh my god. Wow. I had basically zero faith that Scream was going to be able to do it just because of how well it seemed like Liquid were playing that. Maybe they both should have gone over top. But really, you know, if one person goes up, there is no one to trade, right? That is literally the only way he could have won that round. Yeah. And they made that a possibility for him. But they both didn't go over top, right? Yeah. That was the last round of the half?
Yep. Oh. So that's another round or another map where we see an 8-7 scoreline. Still in favor of Team Liquid here as they take the lead, moving on to the second one. Will they be able to continue this to a third map? We'll soon find out after this break. You know what, Londers, despite them losing in a heartbreaking last round of the first half, you can't take away all of these rounds that they've won in a row here for Team Liquid. 8 rounds won in a row to actually take the lead in this first half.
It's been an absolute slugfest, round after round. I mean, Diffuses, just fantastic. I mean, fantastic. Some clean, very clean rounds in the midst of this streak that Liquid had in the first half. But apart from that, I mean, it's just been really, really an uphill battle for them as they just try to continue or try to pull back a lead at any point. I mean, it's been the struggle for them. And yeah, I mean, actually, RPK is actually having a really off game. Something strange for him, 3-13.
You didn't hear about his name a lot in this matchup, right? It's mostly about the pimp op.
I don't think I've ever heard him. I don't think I've ever heard him speak in general. Like, he just seems like a very quiet, like kind of in the server and doing work, but not trying to be the center of attention ever. Right? It's never really the star of the show, but at the same time, it's absolutely nuts. And has gotten so much bad. I mean, when he started playing with Existence, man, he was so bad, and he improved so much.
That indeed, as now Liquid are trying to move inside this B bomb side. RPK, as we just talked about him, got the first kill of this half, but 2 of them immediately fall, including himself. 1 minute advantage for Team Liquid, moving inside this B bomb side, planning for B main as well. As you do have one watching off lane, that's going to be Elige about to come head-to-head against Shox. Can Shox win this one here, or will Elige prevail? Meanwhile, you do have more moving in from the CT spawn, as it's going to be Elige that takes the top.
Yeah, actually looking for the man who would potentially come in for the trade, and will it be? Is this so? Is this becoming a reality? Will Team Liquid win a pistol round in this series? I mean, that could denote a victory, if anything.
One of them already ran back towards the CT spawn, so you definitely know that they are trying to save this. The other one, Scream, was on the top of heaven just to try to make them lose their investment.
That was so sick.
And that is JDM. If I can't do backflips on camera, JDM just did one for me.
Yeah, exactly. I love seeing just the soul get sucked out of your body as you fall. Like, just no more consciousness. You cannot control this ragdoll anymore. Just every life completely sucked out of you from that. Just a clean one tap. That's what it's all about.
I found it quite dangerous at the same time, though, for Team Liquid. When they spawned that player towards that CT spawn and they got the initial goosh, and I think that was towards body, you started seeing slowly peeking out one by one and try to really get that kill to solidify that the round win for Liquid. Where Scream, meanwhile, it was starting to get those one taps through, and you're like starting to hesitate to see if you bring those fights again. So it was a little bit tough there for, at least for me. I shivered a bit for Team Liquid's win on that pistol round, but they finally managed to do so in the series.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if they've made too much noise and like given a JDM any hints, because if I mean, he's in here with the bomb, but he has a leash, so this is a really safe way to hold him in. It's obviously just a really safe standard default. So, but either way, that's 1 for 1. Is Bonnie gonna go back for more? He gets a dink off. I mean, I don't think they're out of this quite yet. And the other question is, after this push, are Liquid gonna assume that the other teammates are far away? Mollies are gonna come out, and this is gonna help to guarantee things. We see in nades, so they know there's at least one person here, but there is a congregation of terrorists towards the site.
That's right. They spotted the bomb carrier when they killed him too, so that's why you don't really see them rotating back. And here comes the pop flashes through, and it's going to be 2 pistols right now for G2. Capitalize with Pimp on an AK-47 kill, making it a 2-on-2 situation.
I think our man's is actually snuck to quad as well.
That's right. Very difficult right now for Liquid to win this round, but Pimp gets the headshot, and now it's up to the Smiths. They know that he's there, actually.
Oh!
Nice shot.
What a shot. Is he doing it again? Is he doing it again? The 2K? The eco? Are you serious? Those were insane peaks. Fancy in statue mode, making his O face, with his fist in his hands. Yeah, the Ming Lee PogChamp combo.
That was insane, actually. Wow. You want to doubt Smiths now with those 2P250 kills? That was sick.
You wouldn't say to him on land.
Oh, man. So that resets, unfortunately, Team Liquid on to the second round. It started off so well. As I guess at that point, Launders, if you could rewind, would you have fallen back when you got those 2 first kills towards that A main when the bomb was already dropped?
It was
you
a
should
good
expect
bait.
maybe a stack in there. It
was a good bait, and they had no other option because they had to. Oh, wow! This push. Wow, that could have been shut down so quickly. Wow. Toxic, at a moment's notice, was able to get those 2 kills. But yeah, the thing was, they had 3 people in the site, right? They had no one pushing B.
Yeah.
They don't know if Liquid are going to go back and search. But from our minimap, we see it's obviously, you know, that G2 are just, they seem confident. But they actually don't know if Liquid are going to regress. It's just a call out because Liquid don't have anybody on the other side of the map, so they don't know if people are flanking them. So they feel like, okay, our best bet, instead of clearing all these angles going back and risking it, is just to push in the site, molly it out. And so, I mean, G2 just completely outplayed them in that sense. I mean, you know, like Smith's come a clutch, but like everything else working out well too.
Shireen that won that battle there for G2 on that second round of this second half, capitalizing on a second round in a row for G2. But moving into the third one now, you see this buy coming through from Team Liquid, and they open it up towards the B-bomb site with absolutely no trades onto G2's side.
Oh, those are insane entries, and that is the value of just the walk-up explode. I mean, you get everybody grouped up, you don't risk getting counter-naded, and you could potentially catch someone with a nade out themselves or just out of position thinking they're safe. And, you know, that was a lot what we saw CLG do a lot of the time, but that's the kind of thing you really just want to pepper in. I mean, there's always a good opportunity to do it. You just want to do it, like, as much, I don't think. And so they found a good chance, a good opportunity, and it really, I mean, it just caught everybody off guard. And this is, I mean, G2 here, this is technically around, and they didn't actually invest that much money into it. I think they still have spent quite a bit of money, but they didn't do any rebuys, so...
Yeah, but it'll be a reset. They'll get $1,400, including the $600 that they're getting from these kills, actually.
Oh my god! Oh. That's actually crazy. That almost, like, I don't want to say that nullifies the win, but they entered that site with 5 players alive and then just lost 4 of them to SMGs. 2 players with SMGs.
Salvaged then again by the last remaining player on G2's side. Money built up. Could be a drop. We'll have to see what the money is.
5K rebuys. Look at this. I mean, they actually almost stole this economy entirely just with that exit.
Amazing. So simply no reset whatsoever on the CT side. This is going to be a full and important gun round from both sides actually now for Liquid and G2. That smoke had a little
they're actually doing the exact same thing. I don't know. Will G2 be more aware of this? RPK is here, and why is he looking at the walls to dodge flashes? Flash isn't great. RPK still alive. Takes a little bit of damage, but still going 1 for 1. are going 1 for 2, excuse me, is a huge win for the terrorists. Scream, will he push in? Oh no, that's a huge risk, and Elige makes him pay for it.
No reward on that one here. Shox is going to try to move up to avenge his teammate, but he's going to get fully blinded. Both of them are actually there. Molly to force them back, and that might be the smart call for them at this point to fall back and save their weapons. Now, are they going to try to go for exits again? I doubt it. It's been a more expensive round to buy here for G2 Esports. They want to keep these weapons now. They hear a vent break, rather. So Shox is going to watch towards that area, wins that fight against Nitro. Are they going to go on a hunt at this point for Liquid? No matter what, the round is going to come in for their side.
They really shouldn't. They just lost so many guns on that last round. They're barely getting any more loss and just losing players left, right, and center now as one person is able to trade. And I think at a certain point, G2 don't even want to go for kills too. So, you know, maybe, you know, it's not that bad for both in some regards. Now, let's see what the money looks like for both of these teams. It was really good of Liquid to instantly trade back there, and with that one rifle, they don't have another buy-in. So that was, you see, like incentive in Shox actually trying to save after getting those 2 kills. Counted as chickens before they hatched.
And you know this, they had a lot of money right now to go for full AKs if they wanted to for Liquid. They want to go for the SMGs instead, knowing that it's going to be a save coming through for G2, trying to rebuild a little bit more money from the extra amount that you get from submachine gun kills, $600 instead of the regular $300 with the AKs. And it started aggressive towards that mid side. They have taken that control. They're setting up towards A main and also Squeaky Door for a pinch from all areas. Body is fully blinded, and his teammate burns down to 100 to 0. Then Shox capitalizes back, and they slowly clear out the A-bomb site. Still one lurking towards the forklift, but he loses the fight. They're still creeping up forward, though. RPK trying to line those up, runs out of bullets, back to the pistol. But everybody stays alive so far for Liquid, and that's going to be it. 4-on-1 situation. Scream, Deagle in hand. Bomb has been planted. They spot him at the blue truck. They're going to try to hunt him down.
Solid cleanup so far. 1 kill in the back. JDM just catches that stray bullet to the head.
They're both laughing. You know why? JDM's like, I'm behind you, Nitro. How the hell does he hit me instead?
That's it. Definitely salt in the wounds, but not so bad overall. Really good cleanup. I think there was more opportunities for kills to be made, and G2 couldn't capitalize. So they move into this round with the full intention to try to steal back the economy, but not the ability to force a save in the following round, potentially.
4s across the board for G2. So I've been a bit wrong trying to figure out the economy that they hand here for the CT side. But they are setting up a little bit more of a defense now towards this this A stack. They played the same way pretty much how Nitro and Elige did it on the CT side before, and then they're only having one guy towards the mid side. But meanwhile, we've already taken control of that mid for Elige.
Yep, and now G2's Scream is here. NZ just holding passively, and this passive setup delays rotations on the CT side. So the benefit is that it's safe. The folly is that you're really relying on site holds. I actually don't like this CT setup, considering you have 2 on site, but at the same time they do this cool thing where they throw. Oh no, they just wasted both their smokes. That's got to be miscommunication at its finest. I mean, that has become a really big deal. Like they know Liquid now know they can wait out the smoke, but they've also pulled a 3rd man here, and RPK is not dead. He's blind, but still in this. Smiths and Scream combined in tandem to get a couple of kills, and I don't think they'll be aware of another man here. And there it is. Oh, Hiko saving his teammate in a really tough spot. It's actually
Sick.
JDM was the man to also turn that into a kill.
That's right, and because of that, it makes it a 2-on-2 situation. Molly coming through, but a great position for Shox to backstab on that flank. Hiko now stuck inside the site. They know that he's stuck in there. It's Body and Shox moving through. Hiko trying to stay hidden as much as he can. Now they spot him towards the triple box. They're spamming across. He's at 13 HP, misses his spray. Shox wins it, and they come in for the retake.
That was beautiful. I mean, they spammed each side, and you know that like a player is just not going to sit in the middle and wait for something. He's going to prepare to peek, and that's called spam box for a reason. They made him take quite a bit of damage, and really disincentivized them from actually trying to peek. He would have been moving slower than if he wasn't tagged. So good stuff on that 2v1 from G2 to pull themselves back into this. And as we said on the previous round, because they were unable to do a lot of damage on that eco, we've got a full buy up for Liquid, 5 AKs, and tons of utility. We're
preventing any type of aggressiveness from the T side on the top of the boost. Meanwhile, We are seeing sort of a complexity type of strat here for Liquid to move together. Well, I guess it's not really a complexity thing. This is like the third time they do it where they just run into the B-bomb side as a group, but this time they don't check checkers. But he misses. All of that spray was missed. And JDM punishes him for it. RPK and his teammate already at mid side. Actually, a third guy's about to meet up with him. Pop flash, that's going to blind one. JDM's going to kill the one. The second one that runs it through. Now as RPK comes across, they don't expect the third. Body gets the first one, drops back in. They're looking for his opponents here as Hiko saves another teammate one more time. And that was, I think, JDM again. So now Shox is going to be the last man standing with the AWP. Will fall back, save that weapon. And Team Liquid comes back in full force for another round one inside the B-bomb site.
That was truly a fumble from each player. I mean, they had Smiths in a situation where he snuck into checkers and they decided not to clear it or even put any men in there. And it's because G2 had not been playing checkered, so I think they saw value in having Smiths there by himself. If he just played the spot that he was sure that they maybe weren't going to spend too much time or give too much attention to. That being said, he had the opportunity to shoot someone in the back, couldn't finish the frag, and then when his teammates tried to flash themselves through vent, because they had 3 at mid, so they had the ability to support, RPK gets blind in the vent, his teammate dies, and then he follows up with a failed spray. Some of the bullets getting absorbed by the tin of the vents, so that is a really rough way to lose a round in a situation where you're on a buy-safe situation. I think, yeah, and I don't know if they spent all their money here. They might have had money left over on one person, decided to get off with it, and have decided to go for the full pistol setup with an off to support. I mean, sometimes this works, but this is definitely another situation where they don't let it get to 14 for the ability to give themselves some leeway if they win the round. They're basically telling themselves, we win here or we lose the game, but if we win here, we have a great chance to win. Whereas I think they don't want to feel uncomfortable. But I sometimes cannot, I cannot justify this sometimes, because if you do wait till 14, you get a full buy-up, much better chance to win the round. And if you really trust yourself to do it, you should most of the time give yourselves that opportunity. But this game isn't cut and dry. There are circumstances for every type of strategy.
Well, it starts with a slightly similar situation where there are 3 guys stacked inside the 8 site with pistols where they could actually win the round. Big pop flash coming through, trying to take down Nitro, but he still lines them up blinded. 2 headshots. And now they're coming across. Hiko takes the third one down, still a 4th inside the site. Now Shox is with the op. About to walk through the smoke. Gets the first kill. Now 4 more to go and enable for G2 to be able to win this round, and they smoke him out. They get the bomb plant across, and I think that's finally going to calm things down for a bit to really secure this 14th round for Liquid. On top of that, nailing the coffin as it gets flanked from Z.
Dude, Nitro,
from mid,
Nitro by the skin of his teeth, and just, I mean, how lucky can you be to be able to get those 2 kills? I mean, they had the perfect flash on him too, right? That was the part that probably made them the most salty. I mean, they lined up, sure, and he blind sprayed, and he knows the angle, and that's why they were both headshots, but they had him dead to rights. And now, because of that, I basically have opted to go for 3 awful buys, because they're not even saving here. They didn't want to have to go to match point, and because of that, now have to buy again. I mean, really weird if they didn't.
A high-low stack inside the 8-bomb site right now. It's Shox and Body. I don't know if they actually spotted him here, but they're flushing him out here with the mollies being thrown towards the 8-bomb site, trying to line up the deagles, but it's denied here by Hiko. Hiko, how many times have he saved his teammate so far? So I bet he wasn't able to save that one there, which is himself. Gets headshotted by a deagle coming through. Trade it back. At least it's a 3-on-2 situation. 1-man advantage for Team Liquid.
Oh, it looks like this game is, I mean, this is actually G2 on their last limbs. And obviously it helps Liquid winning that pistol. But I mean, I think it actually got converted, which is the most surprising part of all. There it is, Nitro with the 3K match point for Team Liquid. And the only thing G2 have going for them is a little bit more in loss bonus, but that's about it. They really did invest heavily in the last 2 rounds to try to stop the bleeding early. And because of that, Risk are in a tough spot on a map that they should be very good on. Not to say that they haven't played well, but I'm sure they're upset with their own performances. As George St. Pierre once famously said, "I'm not impressed with your performance."
I shall give my 110% every time. But even at this point, they have to give their 110% for G2 because they have no money to work with, pushing aggressively to try to catch them off guard. Shox pays the price, and it's already a 1-minute advantage for Liquid as they steer across the mid side, taking full control and pinching up towards the mid side. Scream trying to get these deke shots, but gets denied.
And this is it. Will we have the first 3-map series, I think? Or has there been a 2-1? I don't even think
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Body gets 2 kills with the 5-7. It's up to Pimp. Can he clutch a 2 versus 1? He's getting flanked from mid as well. And that's going to be a 1 versus 1. Fully blind. Smith gets the kill. You jinxed it, Launders. That means we're going to overtime.
Oh, man, I thought that there was actually a real chance. I can't believe a Body with those 2 insane shots. And the pistols have just got to be so annoying how good they are with them. But yeah, now within 4 have gotten a little bit out of that. I mean, they still have to go up against Spies. It's still going to be an uphill battle. Liquid have still won the majority of rounds in this half. And round 27, Smith has a mag, and the setups have been dynamic for G2, so I'd like to see what they're going to try to implore for this. And mid-control is on the docket for Team Liquid. They have busted out with a player at the back of Z. And this is going to be forfeited to them. This squeaky push, however, is getting called out. Great flashes.
Huge
this
one.
Game.
But it's traded out 1 for 1. Pim moving in from the highway with 2 of his teammates. They clear out the A side at least for a bit. But RVK moves in for the truck. It's still only 1 for 1. Body inside this blue door. Pimp wins that fight. It's up to a 3 versus 1. It's going to be very difficult. CZ and a Mag 7 now for G2 Smiths. Fully flash. Pimp gets the kill. We are going to a 3rd map after all, Launders.
Absolutely insane. And the one thing I think that may be misleading is it seems, wow, G2 got unlucky at all these small micro movements